good to go?
All good.
Dive straight in. Just like this giant foot in your face. No.
No.
So, welcome back. And welcome back to a giant stone humanoid coming crashing down. I am going to need Arthur and Professor to make a move roll. But so the stakes, because these are the stakes, because you did not hear it coming. Is that so? This is not a high stakes roll, almost is. You've had a visual second to see it, so you have some sort of ability to not take too much damage if it goes bad. But obviously on a critical success you complete this, and we can give you something like a bonus to your next thing or wherever, however the narration goes. On just a success, you just get out of the way. You're safe. You're good. You roll out of the way. From a mixed success, you will dodge it, but you will incur some damage. If you completely fail, you're taking all the damage.
Yay.
So all of us, yeah?
Not you. You actually, because of the way we built it on the rolls and you were successful, you moved away to the... That was giving you advantage, basically, to avoid this situation that's happening to them.
Alright. Sorry, guys. See you.
It's like, oh, wait, guys, look behind you.
No, you didn't pay for the session, Elia. Just before you die, gotta take some money.
Compensation!
Bye.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have nothing in move, so I think I run like Mr. Burns. So I'm a little bit worried. No, he runs like this.
Yeah,
like a waddle. So I'm quite worried.
T-Rex.
But I think I'm gonna let's go for it and see what happens.
Yep.
As you would expect. I got a 2.
Oh no.
Arthur?
Well, I'm going to spend a drive.
Wise.
Because I also have nothing in move. So I'm just going to have a straight roll. I'm just going to have a straight roll.
Could I actually help Arthur, like kind of like guide him from the top? Like, no, not go that way, just come this way, like follow my voice, to kind of give him a drive? I don't know if that's okay.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Okay.
You get 1 extra die roll on this.
Okay, because I have...
obviously spend the drive.
Yeah, okay,
But you get one more roll on this. Arthur, you've spent a drive. Go ahead and roll your move. And we'll come back to you, Professor.
Okay.
Sorry, Professor, I didn't think of helping you before.
No.
I forgot about
That's
it.
alright. Let's be honest. It was gonna happen anyway. No matter how many drives you put into this, I was always gonna get injured.
Alright, go ahead, Josh.
4.
Makes sense, right? Professor, please roll 1 last d6, please.
With trembling hands. 5.
5.
Okay.
Whoa, save. So, mixed successes. It comes crashing down. You guys dodge out of the way. Boom! Leaves like a little crater where its feet, but the bit of debris coming off it clips you both with bits of rock. You're literally like getting bricked across the head. You both take a body.
Okay.
And standing looming over you is the same humanoid statues you've seen before. It is in fact one of these things. You can assume quite easily now one of the things that killed the people in the expedition of whose camp you found. And just up to the top left, Arthur, you can just make it out. There is a statue missing from there.
Oh, fuck.
Almost like it's like a security thing on that step.
An automata.
And you'll see on the top of the step that you are now, you see like hand marks going down as if it had flanked them from behind. So it came down the steps after they already passed. They had triggered something that set this off. And the grappling hook did that instead. And so, with that, we are going to effectively go into a combat situation.
Oh my God.
And there is effectively, well, we'll get into it. So, pretty much, it comes down to, you tell me what you want to do in this situation, and we roll for it. There's no initiative here. It's not D&D. It's not any other kind of tabletop game that has initiative. This is pure narration based on your actions, and the following things will occur, similar to the fight with the little spirits.
Can I go completely left field
Go
with
for it.
this?
Go for it.
Well, let's be honest. Actually, no, it's completely normal for my type of characters.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to try and talk to this thing first.
Oh my god.
What I want to do, obviously, I think I can take in from what we've seen. It's some sort of sentry. It's some sort of, thing that's going to be. It's what basically we shouldn't be here. It's trying to stop us from being here. So, I'm wondering if I can convey to it, convince it, as it were, that we also don't want to be here, and all we're trying to do is find a way to leave. And if he can help us with that, we'll be out of his hair. He can get on with his rocky life. We can get on with our fleshy lives, and then we're all happy.
Right. Okay, so as you go to think of the words to say, it starts to lean into the light of your oil lamp, and you can see it's just smooth stone. There's nothing there. There's no eyes or anything. It's just smooth stone as it leans in to see its targets. I'm going to ask you, Arthur. Professor.
No, Arthur.
No. I'm gonna. It's a sway roll. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what happens, right? I'm gonna ask you to roll sway, and the appropriate thing will happen.
Oh damn!
Or not happen.
I think that's the scariest thing I've ever heard from a GM. An appropriate thing will happen.
I guess if it's okay with you, as I see that happening, I will open my occult book and try to find words in Allferan with my notes, because I imagine this creature is very likely to gonna speak Allferan, to try to help the professor by saying like 3 or 4 words like we are leaving or we are out, I don't know, whatever he's trying to convey, just to give him a drive. As I got my drives and canning back now.
Okay.
Can I hold an action?
If okay.
So it's based on everybody will have a turn, and then we just reset. The monster just reacts to what you do based on your rolls.
May I ask for a point of I'm just trying to be fair? I did already roll 2 dice because I have 2 in sway. Do you want me to just roll 1 more because of the drive, or do you want me to just roll all 3?
So you have your roll, and then you're adding a drive to this.
Yeah.
So then you're adding. Yeah. So then, if you've got, how much do you have in sway?
I got 2. All I'm asking
so you would have 3.
I've already rolled 2. Should I just be re-rolling?
No, you just roll the 3rd die. So
the
this 3.
Cool. That's right, because both of them were fails, and I was like, I don't want to like push it one way or the other. I don't want to be fair here. And also that is of course a fail, so that's 3 fails. So that was
gonna get crushed, you and me now.
I'm going to die. So
anticipating this happening, can I do something? Because I did say I wanted to hold an action.
Okay.
The action was to shove him out the fuck the way, because this was inevitable.
Oh, right. Okay, I'll say what happens here. So he fails. So what's going to happen will dictate. I mean, regardless, Professor, you're taking damage. Right? You just may not take a lot.
Cool.
So, if Arthur helps you here, or you're both going to suffer very badly. So what's going to happen here is you can shove it out of the way, because this is about speed and getting there. I'll tell you what. I will allow you to use move or strike.
Both are terrible.
Okay.
Fuck it. Drive.
Yep.
Flat roll.
Oh god.
Here we go. 6.
Oh!
Yay!
Right. So what happens is, so this is how it narrates. You try to convince it to let you leave, and it goes down, and then it kind of leans in as if it's listening, but then pulls back a punch and comes crushing down, and you're about to get hit, but what happens is you take damage from Arthur trying to just hit you out of the way, which would have been better than the alternative. You will take a mark of body.
Will I probably take one as I'm there next to him with the book, kind of translating for him to...
I'll say you're off adjacent, so you're
Okay.
fine. Don't worry, because we're doing this based on rules as well. So what will happen is you'll take a mark from just getting bodied by Arthur.
Yeah.
But there's a little crater left behind with his fist, and it just pulls out bits of stone crumbling from its knuckles, and raises to its full height again.
Dankeschön, Art.
Right. Next threat. This is a new phase. Next to the rolls, what do you do? This thing you've just moved, we're just this is fast pace.
How fast does this thing move? Just like across the ground?
For the size it is, not super fast, but pretty fast considering its size.
I'm gonna try something dumb.
Okay.
Yay!
Yay! Go ahead, Arthur.
Is there any climbing equipment left?
Ooh. I am going to put this down to see if this is almost like a luck roll, right?
Okay.
So what I'm going to say is, let's see, what would I want you to, this is like a quick, it'll be a focus roll.
Okay.
And if you find, just to help me kind of narrate this, in terms of when you find this climbing equipment, what are you going to do with it once you find it? And if you find any lying around.
If I find it, how many do I want to give this away before? Because if this is just a damp squib, it's really disappointing if I give you the whole thing and then it's just not there. Can I just roll it?
Give me cliff notes. Give me cliff notes so I can understand.
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
I know what he means.
Oh, is this the Star Wars reference? Okay. Oh, you're gonna do. I think I know what you're gonna do. I know what you. Okay. Right. Okay. So with that makes sense. Okay. Cool. So with that, roll a focus, and then obviously depending on how successful it is, you'll get to do your thing with it. All right.
Drive.
All right.
Because this would be cool. All right. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
That is a 5 and a 6.
Hey, nice.
Amazing.
So, with the 6, by the way, are you tracking which dice is gilded?
Yeah. I've only got one dice, so
Alright,
the first one I roll is always the
Okay.
gilded,
All right. Fine.
which was the 5.
No worries. Right. Okay. So, if you're gonna take the 6, great. Because then you can do exactly the thing. Now narrate to us what you're gonna do.
Okay, so I spot some climbing equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Like a piton and some rope and stuff like that, something that
Yes.
we left discarded, and I'm going to run over to it, and I'm going to grab it, and then I'm going to run straight at the giant man creature. And as I run, I'm going to go straight past it and smack the piton into the bottom of his leg, and then I'm just going to start running around him and around him and around him and around him.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay, I just got the reference now.
There it is.
Star Wars reference. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait. When Rob said I know what you're doing, I'm like, what did he watch in comic? Star Wars. So absolutely, you tie it around and it goes, crashes onto the floor. It's kind of just trying to push itself back up with its arms, but its legs are currently locked around its legs. That is, your action, we now move to the other two. What are you two doing?
I imagine that was it. There is no more climbing gear to go for the next step up while that's happening.
Well,
Okay.
I'll tell you, I'll give you this for free. It's definitely gonna try and rip it off.
Yeah, that's why it's gonna break it. So I was thinking either we could try to do that and maybe try to go to the next step up, or we could hide underneath the tent. All of us kind of like put the tent over us. That could be a thing, actually.
Yeah.
But I think that's a better idea,
You
right? But if it
stealthing,
crashes,
hey?
yeah, I love that. Yeah, fuck it, yes.
You never know because you
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
how it senses. You don't know how it senses because it currently has no
Yeah,
face.
yeah,
It's
okay,
just
I'll-
smooth.
I will kind of whisper to whoever is with us, like all of us. Let's try to hide on the corner and try to look for a little like corner part of the stairs. If that makes sense, you know, like there
Okay,
must be
we'll
a
say
corner
you've got the
touching with the
tents.
wall.
So this would be considered a hide roll
Okay.
because we'll think you're saying it. You know you're going to go to a space with the most darkness as possible.
Yeah.
And try and obscure it. And obviously, you're telling people like, "I'm going to go there. I'm going to set this." Like you know,
Yeah, cool.
go.
So,
Like, yeah.
Yeah, so
So it's a hide roll.
okay, I have this advantage. I'm gonna burn my fucking last drive. I'm sorry for swearing. The freaking
Yes,
last
that's fine.
drive.
I can't
on it.
believe it.
Work your last.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So give myself one die only. Yeah.
Want that only?
That's what happened in my head, yeah.
Yeah.
Now is anyone coming?
You roll this first. Roll this
Okay,
first.
perfect.
We're gonna see
Alright.
how well we get on with this hiding
on.
maneuver.
Oh no.
No, I'm not coming.
My beard is shining too much. So it's kind of like it's like a little candle torch, blue candle effect on the tent. As I try to go on the corner, you see this blue tent from irradiating light.
Yeah, you
What
are
happened?
visible as hell.
You tried to Candela Obscura and it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't obscure.
No.
Because your
Stop
beard
it.
is like a candela.
Yeah.
Yes.
So guy just goes
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm
hates
not
bugs.
able to vote.
Fair
Hands are back.
all fair enough. Yeah.
Right. So unfortunately, that does not go as planned. Now, Professor, what are we doing in this moment? As you see Theobald go into one corner and try and hide. You see Arthur going, like and actually toppling this giant.
I
Are you gonna fight or are you gonna hide?
neither. Okay.
I'll stay.
Yeah, I will stand still
Observe.
and I will do nothing. No, I don't see a way that we're going to be able to beat this thing up. So I think we got to look at more like be a bit more inventive in how we do things. So my thinking is, you mentioned about the other, things in the walls being hung up by their wrists. I would like to sort of focus in on that and find if I can work out how that has happened and if there's a way that we can hold this thing down by its
Okay.
wrists.
I get you. I get what you're shooting for. In this case, this would be considered as a sense roll.
A sense, okay. I'll be honest,
Yeah.
I was aiming more for focus or survey, but it is sense.
This is, with where you know I'm going, and if you succeed, I'll be able to really help you here.
Cool. Well, allow me to tell you that I have no drives. So this is a disadvantage roll, and it went how you thought it would go.
Oh no!
So I fail on both of us.
So you're trying to get a sense of these things, like it's not necessary. There is something missing here that something from the naked eye can't. There's no apparent weaknesses that can appear to you in this moment, and there's nothing to give you from what you've seen. Again, can you just reiterate what you were trying to gun for?
So my hope was, as you say, it seemed my guess is that there's a weak point, a glowing red weak point around sort of like the wrist area, and I was hoping to find a way to activate that so that we can maybe.
I
stick
will
it
tell
to
you that you
ground.
can't see anything physical weakness wise.
Oh, okay. So it's
But
mental.
you
So we have to make it have a breakdown.
so you can't ascertain exactly what the thing is that will help, but it's definitely nothing. You're physically outmatched here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. In which case, I stand still.
Yes.
Because
failing backwards.
Yeah. I literally can't.
Really.
I can't do anything else, so I literally stand still.
Right.
Well, everybody else sees this carnage going on, and I've got my arms folded, just going. Right. Yeah.
This is bad.
Das ist gut.
This is not good.
Das ist nicht sehr gut.
So we come to the next phase. We have our turns.
Right back. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem at all. We'll start with Arthur, and then we'll go to Professor, and then we'll come back to T-Bolt.
Do we want to pause for a second to let...
Freeze frame! You've come to a new phase. Your actions are refreshed. What are you doing?
Is Mr. Man still on the ground?
He's still on the ground. He's in the efforts of trying to prise himself up, and depending how things go, you can see the hand reaching for the ropes.
Which way is he orientated?
He is flat on the ground, and he's pushing himself up from his arm. So he's stomach first, like he does stomach to the
So
ground.
stomach first. Which is he? I want to try dumb shit.
Okay.
Whereabouts is he in relation to the edge of the step?
Depending on the success, he can be wherever you want to be.
Oh, great. I'm going to take the other end of the rope that I still have, and I'm going to jump.
Okay. Into the down a step, then into the next step.
Depends where I am.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
I see that happening, do I think that the rope could take more than one? Maybe we should all jump. Just let's say they put it out there. I don't know.
It would definitely help.
Yeah, so maybe whatever, as I see Arthur doing that, I'll probably click like a light bulb in my head idea, so I will kind of like tell to the professor, let's all do it, and kind of give in a drive if that's possible.
We can make this
I
a
don't
group
know.
action if you want.
This would be amazing.
I think. Do you
Pendulum.
know what? I've got half a mind to go. Yeah, I'm going to do it, and then not do it last second. But
You just like,
it sounds like too much fun. So hell yes, let's do it.
Yeah, because I guess I see the professor standing still there, right there, so I'm just gonna grab him literally.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it under duress. Yeah.
You'll just grab the feet of Arthur. Like each. I'm going to ask you. This is insane. I'm going to ask you to make a. Let's see. This is going to be control because this is finesse.
Control.
This is. Yeah. So I
Control.
need you all
Okay.
to
I
roll
don't have-
control.
I don't have any drives left.
All of you have control.
Okay.
I don't think we
Okay.
do.
Are we
I will
rolling
tell
it?
you in this instance. I will tell you what happens. Each of you, depending on your roles, certain things will happen. All right. So, and we'll narrate as such. Anyone gets a critical success, it just happens, right? Pull them off, and that will. Interesting things will happen. Success. Similar kind of thing with a critical success, you'll get a little extra. If it's a mixed success, you will take some damage in this, but you will succeed. But if it's 1, 2, 3, only you guys are getting hurt, and it's gonna hurt.
Oh dear. Okay. I seen Arthur not being the most finesse of us, right? Is that could I assume that? Because I know the professor is quite good at shooting and a little bit better. But did I see that Arthur is not very good at control?
He's definitely not in control here.
Yeah.
I
So
know,
maybe.
I'm slightly in control.
Yeah. Okay. So could I give one drive somehow to kind of like as I'm there to help Art to?
Yeah, I'll say if you want to use the drive, I'll allow this because we're doing like a big group action thing here. I'll allow it. So yeah, spend the drive.
So I'll do that. I'll give you one extra die, Arthur, and I'm okay. I have 2, so let's hope. I assume you have 1, Professor. That's why it's
roll away.
Okay.
Do your control rolls. Circle of shadow and light.
Oh my god! Come on. Oh, mix. C'est mix.
Arthur
5.
and Professor.
6.
Oh, yay!
All right. So you got success, and then you two got mixed success.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So what happens as this thing goes to it kind of gets to standing, and it's kind of in that position where it's kind of just like waddling a bit in place, standing up, and as it does so, it's really near the edge, right? And you just see Arthur go grab the rope. You all see he's doing. You grab the Professor to your ball, and you go vote. He jumps off. Arthur's already flying halfway off, and you guys just grab the end of the legs, and the thing falls and slides off with you, and the whole thing goes.
Whoa.
And what happens? The Professor again, 3-point landing. Lands. The rope gets just slightly off the step, so you don't just smack, right? I'll say that only happens to you two, as pins and needles really sore. Like as you just get the heel of it, you don't like break anything, but you have definitely like it just shoots through you. It wasn't a nice landing, and you will both take a mark in body.
Oh. Ow.
As you see this thing coming off the edge, I will need you to roll move. As this thing is now coming down, no control. It's just there going. As it's coming down behind you.
Is that?
I need you all.
Me as well.
Everybody. We're gonna do a move here.
I'm gonna put a drive in because I'm
Yeah,
not good.
that's fine.
Yeah, I'm good at running away, so that's okay. I'm gonna try as I go. Come on. Oh, it's Candela.
Candela,
Yes.
nice. You unscathed. Josh? Professor?
You can tell by my body language that everything's gone very well here. I also rolled a 1.
What happens here is it comes crashing down, and T-Bot, you manage to first one. You're already running, as the other ones, both of you trip and land as this thing comes crashing on top of you. And you both take 2 marks in body.
So here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Mark number 1 is my 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
So mark number 2 is what?
Same for me, by the way.
So that is, you got 4 marks in total.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh no.
So what happens here is, as it crushes you, you are knocked clean unconscious. But the thing is, it smashes into a million pieces.
Yay.
And is no more. However, in this moment here, you are knocked unconscious in the scene, and I'm going to ask you both to narrate the scar you obtain. What form of bodily harm has happened to you in this moment to your body? You're not dead, but you're not unscathed either. While you're deciding that, take a moment to think about that. Theobald, you see dust. You turn around. You do not see your colleagues. All you see is rubble.
What's happened? I'll be thinking to myself. Could I try to look around? There is no light, really, is it?
I will say, you do see the light, and I'm going to say in this case as well, the oil lamp smashes. No fire ignites, thankfully, but you see the little cinders of it still going. What's left, the little oil that was in it, still burning away, but it's not like exploded everywhere, right? It's not lethal, but it's like there's a little bit of fire, and you can guess from that there's a good chance you might find the professor and maybe Arthur there. Maybe Arthur, you don't know, but Professor, you remember, had the oil lamp. So you can run over to that part of the rubble and start pulling things away if you like.
Yeah, I'll do that, actually, definitely.
You run up, you start pulling away, and, scraping your hands and just, cuts in your hands, you just ignore it, and you're trying to get your friend out. And we'll come to you, Professor. What scar has been left behind of the Professor as he pulls the rubble away?
Man, this is difficult because you're trying to. I think I'm right in saying that when a scar happens, it also changes your the points that you have in different things.
You can decide what that is. It moves from one place to another.
I also want to try and make it thematic, so it makes sense. So I'm just,
of course, yeah.
Which I do have something, but it will mean buying another thing off of Amazon. So
that's what you're worried about?
Yeah.
Just say that goddamn thing that happens to you.
Alright, fine.
Forget Amazon.
I think I lose an eye.
Whoa.
Describe the actual damage.
I think it is the glass in one of the eyeglasses breaks, and it sort of like causes an enormous scratch across the eye, like a big scar, and it's also scratched the eye itself to a point where it's scarred and it's not usable.
Yeah, it's just completely blinded the eye.
Yeah.
And you can just see it there, and you see the eye just being like streaming gunge and all things kind of coming out.
Yeah.
He seems relatively unharmed, but he's completely knocked out cold, and you can see where his glass from like maybe rock has like punctured it inward.
I like how everyone's gone very quiet because they're like, "Ooh, that's bad." And in my head, I'm like, "How do I roleplay this now? This will be fun." Yeah. The entire rest of it is like, what? Who said that?
So, you can, in this case, something maybe site-specific, visual-wise.
So
Professor
I had
as well. Mm-hmm.
I did genuinely have an idea for this, which is why I went for it. Also, I smudged my glasses so much that I genuinely couldn't see out of them, so I just had to clean them off. So I did have an idea for this.
Go for it.
The thing that I want more of is to be able to move, because at the moment I have nothing in move whatsoever, and it has caused loads of problems in both episodes. So I want to be able to move. However, I think I need to take it out of something else, and the thing I was thinking was survey, because that's to do with searching, tracking, spotting. And one eye less, you can't do that as well.
Made that very difficult. So you may move one action from there into move, as now maybe once you're awake, that you are going to be a bit more sensitive to your surroundings, as you're just a unhinged paranoia from your traumatic incident has made you a bit, let's say, a little bit more pep in your step.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. How do you feel as you find your colleague in this state, do you think?
as I see him kind of like with the glass kind of gone into his eye, and the first thing I'll try to do is like haven't really have a lot of medic experience or anything like that, but I will kind of get my handkerchief that hopefully is clean. I don't know, who knows. Sorry.
I tell you what, the eye,
to kill him.
the eye was fine until you did this.
Yeah,
Now the scar,
like
now
prove
the
it.
true scar happened.
Yeah, kind of like try to, while he's still kind of half unconscious, try to help him and kind of like quickly get like whatever glass is there and just put the handkerchief on top and kind of like shake him a little bit.
Improvised bandage kind of
Wake
thing.
up, Professor! Come on! Yeah.
No, he is completely cold, and you may just kind of pull him out of the rubble just so he's away from it and like do that kind of procedure, just like carrying a handkerchief, maybe just for now to try and stunt the bleeding. It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing.
Okay.
And I'll just say for the sake of this, you'll also see like maybe a limb off that's just kind of protruding nearby because they were right next to each other effectively. And you may start pulling the rubble away to try and see.
Yeah, I gather the professor is too shocked with the eye issue right now, so I'll kind of try to, while I'm looking to make sure that this creature is not gonna stomp on us again or whatever. I guess he's stop moving now, right? Like it
It's
didn't
completely
break.
smashed to pieces.
Oh, he smashed. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
cool,
just
cool.
scattered everywhere
Amazing.
like a stone
Yeah,
vase.
okay.
Just
Yes, I'll try to look for Arthur there as well between the rubble.
Arthur, as he pulls away the rubble, what does he find?
So, I mean, blood. A lot of blood. It's not clear, what the main source is first, but the ground, the dust is matted and thick from the pool that is coming from around Arthur. You lift his face, you see scratching and scarring all over. But the biggest damage is to his hands. His left hand is twisted, strangely, in a way that doesn't seem like natural, but it's still intact. His right is mangled beyond recognition. Fingers gone. Thumb half there. Parts of it hanging off. He's unconscious. If he was conscious, he would be screaming.
Right. And what are we using practically for our...
So,
what would you like to move from where to where?
I'm gonna take away control. I had one in control. And I don't think he's that anymore. I'm gonna move my thing from control to sense.
To sense.
Because I think he's a changed person now. And will be much more scared of the world around him because the things that have served him so well in his life, his hands, his ability to steal,
Yeah,
to
his
deceive.
tools of the trade now gone.
His tools
the
are
one
gone,
thing
so
he was good
now
at. Yeah.
now he relies on something else.
I guess you kind of wake up to the pain of me trying to straighten your broken, dislocated wrist, like pulling it to try to make it better. That's
We'll
how
come
you
to
know.
that point. They're currently both unconscious. We'll
wow,
definitely
okay.
come to that. We'll definitely come to that. Just in this scene, they're completely
okay.
unconscious, and you pull them out and you see how mangled their hands are. Crushed by the rocks coming from the whole creature coming down on his hands. First used to break his fall from the trip, and then as you pull him, you can see the very rocks which just kind of his hands, pulling away the ones that are covered with the most blood. and you pull them out, and when this moment that you've got your two colleagues there, and you are technically you're not physically alone, but in a way you are alone with your thoughts, and you feel isolated, and you're on this step. Where does Theobald's mind go into a possible solution to this very big problem? If he has one.
Yeah. I haven't really done this in a long time, but I was brought up as an ascendancy kid. But I lost my beliefs in the mother, the son, and the child. I think the mother, the child, and the father, right? That's it.
Yes, correct.
So I think this is kind of one of those moments that the desperation will overtake him to a point that he will first look for Jack around the ghost of his husband, and maybe with all this smoke and rubble, he cannot even see very well. So his thoughts will go to that. He will start kind of like uttering a prayer in a way, like if there is something there, even though I don't really believe in it anymore, kind of like help us because we're stuck here. And then all my memories will come to me being forced to go into mass and into the church and all that kind of like dark place where I used to be when I was a child, when forced to, as my father is a priest of the ascendancy, so I'll kind of go there and pray while I'm remembering all that.
No problem at all. And I've actually, in the Discord, and maybe you can pop it on the thing, we can show the symbol of the ascendancy.
Ooh.
So, with that, as you pray to the mother, the father, and the child, you hear a sound nearby. And you hear multiple hooks attach onto your step. And pulling up, robed figures come up and ascend the step, investigating the noise they heard. Robed figures, and you'll see before them, some of them tattoos in different places. You will see. Make me a focus roll.
Focus, yeah, okay, cool. Oh god. So 2 die, 1 gilded. Okay, that's a mixed success. The 5.
Right. And with a mixed success, so you'll see some of these rogue figures come, and what you will see is not as apparent in some places than others. You'll see one across their arm is tattooed an insignia, and they're wearing these like thick, very white holy robes. They look very similar robes worn by the Ascendancy. But there's something different going on here. And with a mixed success, you won't quite know what it means, but I'll show you. I'll put this in the Discord chat, but I'll describe it for those who can't see. We may see it if it pops up here. It's like a sword with the hilt on the top part of the arm here, and it kind of there's like almost like an upside down U that curves there with the main kind of hilt, traditional kind of sword hilt, but there's a kind of embellishment on it, and down the sword are flames producing from the tip, rolling their way up the sword. You don't know what this means, yet they wear the robes of the Ascendancy. as you see these guys climb up, how do you react to this situation as these figures have pretty much come out of nowhere?
I kind of guessed that my first thoughts will be that my prayer has been answered, so I will keep with that kind of like ascendancy talk and say something like, may the child be blessed. You came, it walk, kind of, please help us. I don't know why you're here, I don't understand, but I am I'm not gonna say who I am actually. I'll say I am, and I will kind of like shut up, and I'll say, we need help, please.
And you say that, and he goes, I know exactly who you are. And pulls their hood back. The one in front. It is your father.
Damn. Okay. I will freeze looking at him because I haven't seen him in so long. It's been like a few years now since I've seen my father. And kind of like ominous, I'll say, Father. And kind of my demeanor will change completely to really meek, kind of like almost like he's gonna strike me or something like that. So from the outside point of view, I'll be like kind of scared in a way of how he's gonna react.
I don't think it quite helps as he's kind of strolling forward towards you, and you now notice on the hips of all these individuals, they have swords on their, similar to the tattoo, they've got them by their waist. No flames, of course, that you can see. But there is swords attached to there. He rolls up to you and goes, It's been a while since we have seen or spoken of each other.
Yes, I thought I'll never say this, but I am happy to see you.
He kind of it goes over his head. Yeah. And he says to you, now why, after all this time, rather than a family dinner, I find you here? What are you doing here, and who are those people? Who are you with?
They are my friends.
Elaborate.
They are my customers as well at the same time. We
Customers?
met. Yes, I have a. Oh God! Now I'm so regretting I said that. I went too late. Yes, I have a business that I run, and these people came to me for it, and we somehow got involved into something we didn't ask for, and we ended up here, really.
To cut the tension, may I just in the background be snoring and sucking my thumb?
He goes, interesting friends, but you have been very vague with me. Who are you with? And I'm not talking about the two individuals over there.
Oh, it's about to go down.
Yeah, cool. I don't know if there is an inside roll. Yeah, it must be, right? I like to inside that to see if my father, Pastor Armand de la Croix, is actually talking about the ghost of my husband, who he can see.
So he's actually talking about your friends. But though you say that, he goes, and maybe another. Something changed with you. something's different.
I'm too scared of my father to actually say, so I will just spill their names. I guess I will know your surname, Arthur, as well, maybe, and yours, Professor, probably part of the form to assist the partner, maybe. Like I believe some kind
I
of.
don't think Arthur gave their last.
No, yeah.
I gave mine very loudly, so.
Yes, you did. You did.
And several
Not right
times.
now.
Yeah, no.
If you could, you would. If
Yeah.
you could, you would. And he goes like,
Strudel, no? Was it?
Yeah, Klaus von
Something like
Strudel, yeah.
Klaus von Strudel, yeah. Okay.
yes. He goes like, interesting. Not particularly people that are, associate each other with one another. It's almost like you were assigned together.
I look down.
Fine. If you will not tell me, I guess we'll just bring you with us. I may have use for you and your friends. Pick them up. And two row figures flanking him just go over and pick your friends up and slump them over their shoulders.
I'll kind of look at him kind of like up and down once more and the robes and the sword and are you I don't know if I'm in a position to ask you questions, but what is this supposed to be? Are you some secret octa protector of the ancient ruins now?
Maybe I will tell you, but first we must descend. There are things here that we need to do our just mission. Take him down with you as well. And you'll kind of just feel a push in your back. As in, to kind of encourage you to go back down the climbing hooks that they've brought.
Could I give myself a brain mark? Because this is way too much for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So absolutely. Take a
Yeah.
brain.
I think it really goes.
I love
yeah.
that. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
this is way too much for
Yeah.
Thibault right now. See his father and the whole thing that is happening and how he's reacting to it. Like you see him reacting like he's like a little kid back again, and he's just completely subdued to his
Even
father.
in this moment of stress, you hear that whisper of your husband shouting, "Go, I'm with you."
Yeah, that gives me like a little sense of a boost to stand a little bit straighter as I hear his voice for a second and give my father this horrible kind of nasty look for just a few seconds, not enough to hold it too long, but I will just be looking.
He only
at-
meets your glance for a second and then he turns away and starts to descend down.
Oh no, it's going down. Going.
You and your friends are escorted
Yeah.
down. And you do travel for a while. You go down to the 10th step. You go down many steps. Eventually, it seems like you've been going for hours and hours and hours. And you eventually get to the 72nd step.
20 seconds, yeah.
72nd.
Okay.
Jeez.
72. And you're exhausted. Your friends have been operating the stretcher thing. By this time, I will say, you guys are starting to rouse. And pain comes to you. As you awaken, and Theobald, your friends, you see this as you arrive into what seems to be a first sort of landing. Like a first, like, there's like a landing. You don't see any extra sets for the moment. You just see like a floor. You've arrived at like a floor. And here you see, it's almost like for a moment, and as you guys are coming to, you think, are we in the Scarlet Woods? Which is a very well-known woods out in the outskirts of, and it's also where the famous drug Scarlet has, like, you know, taken from the trees of this forest that the Red Hand use quite a lot to distribute their drug network. Use quite a lot. Is the main drug, the top drug that everybody uses for fun, for pleasure, or just to dampen the misery of the cold in the downtrodden streets of maybe the Redland district. However, coming back into the scene here, you, Theobald, would have seen it as these guys are rousing, and this, again, as I say, the pain, you start to feel the pain that it concussed you, taking root. And it's almost like the pain's kind of disorientating you, as I say, you think you're in the Scarlet Woods, but actually there's just one singular massive Scarlet Wood tree in this garden full of red flowers. And there's a plaque written in Old Ferran. Just as you come to the bottom of this last step, it's just there as a presentory thing, almost. Like you have arrived here. How are you all in this moment as you guys rouse and Theobald, you arrive on the scene, flanked by these supposed ascendancy clergy soldiers. That's the only way you can. They're very military, like with their swords, and of course your father. How do you all rouse in this scene?
Well, the professor never forgets his manners, so he starts to rouse. And you said that they're being carried down. Him and Art, is that right?
You would be in. Actually, they would have made stretchers to kind of help lower you down, like.
Cool. Okay.
Per step, yeah.
So, can I be like halfway down the last step when I'm rousing? Because I think he might have a mini freak out, and he realizes he's
you
still,
would be allowed that.
Yeah.
You would allowed to freak out. Yes.
When he realizes he's still 10 foot off the ground in a stretcher where. Hello? What is das? Where am I? Also,
panicking. They hold you down a bit. Calm down.
Yeah. Also, I can only now see things in 2D.
Where am I? All I can see is red.
Yeah.
And Arthur,
I think.
Rob.
I think he's just very confused, not quite sure what the hell's going on. So yeah, obviously just feeling a bit, probably a bit woozy as well from blood loss and eye loss. Yeah. So a little bit more stressed than usual, shall we say?
Fair. That's pretty fair.
Cool.
What about you, Arthur? As you rouse?
Pain. I think it's just pain, confusion, fear, strange mixture of the reality of the place that he's in and memories of the Scarlet Forest from when he was younger, criminal enterprises, drug running. You know, a childhood that was just lost to the underworld. And it's a confusing mess that's half real, half imagined, half a memory. Doesn't add up to anything in particular, other than the desire to run. To run as far as he can, as quick as he can. And if he's not tied down, if he's just loose in the stretcher, he's going to try and bolt.
Okay. As you try to get out of the bolt, same like the professor, they just pin you down.
And in that case, all of that anxiety, all of the stress and the memories and fear turns to screaming. And he screams, and he screams, and he screams, and he will not stop.
And I'll say in this moment, for the sake of, as we come to closing the scene, you're screaming, and one of them just knocks you right back out. No damage, of course. But for narrative's sake, it will knock you clean out again to just stop you screaming. And one of your father turns to you, T-Bolt, and goes, "If your friend screams again, he will never be able to scream again."
Yeah, I'll kind of look at him like so with this super scared face, and I'll take this opportunity to get close to the professor that is kind of not knocked out, and I'll say, "Professor, this is Pastor Armand Delacroix, our rescuer," kind of like a question.
Probably said exactly like that, yeah.
Well, hello to you. You have the same surname. Are you related in some way? A distant relative?
Draws his sword to your throat. "Did I say you could speak to me?"
9.
Keep it that way.
But let me speak anyway. So.
I will cut you down!
Oh, 9. I think. Is he going to keep speaking? I think he's a little delirious from the blood loss. I think he's not really paying attention to much of what's going on. So he's just going to keep going.
I'll kind of like just by helping the situation, because I know how hard my father is. I know he's gonna fucking slap him in a second. So I'll just say, "You better stay quiet. My father won't take this kind of behavior."
My God, ein Vater. Well, this changes everything. I would like to think I have become somewhat of a father figure to you. Maybe more of a father figure than your father.
Theobald. Theobald. Your friend can make all the jokes he's like. But if he persists, it'll be the last things he says. And there are no more warnings.
Of course, Pastor. Whatever you say.
He goes, looks over and kind of brushes away this plaque to read it. He goes, "More old Farron. Boy, how's your Farron?"
I kind of like take that opportunity to hide the book that I stole from him from the church before I left the house. Not that good, and I'll lie blatantly because I know there is old Farron on that book, like a little bit.
If you're gonna lie to him, I'm gonna ask you. This could be maybe the last roll of the night. I'm going to ask you to. Let's see. This is going to be sway. You're trying to convince him you're intelligent.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm rolling a disadvantage because, 100%. Damn it. Okay.
You can't lie to daddy.
Yeah. Also, just a quick question before I roll. Did you
Meant to be creepy. Meant to be creepy.
Did you see how my beard was glowing blue at some point, or did it that stopped when he came? Since he came, actually.
I will. I'm going to say you're not sure
Okay.
if you noticed it or not. I'm going to keep that mystery.
Oh God. Okay. Well, that's. Oh, I take the lowest. Oh, of course. Nope. That's a fail. That's a 3.
As you go to hide the book, he just grabs it and goes, I wondered where this went. And he starts scrolling through the pages. And he goes, takes a second, goes, we're going the right way. We've arrived at the first milestone here. We're halfway there. Men, we are at the Bleed Botanical. And that's where we'll end our session today.
Oh no! That sounds so ominous. Fuck.
Thank you so much to my players. I didn't murder you today, but there's always another session. We're halfway there.
Wow, that was so good. That's amazing. Well done, best light keeper ever.
Yeah, amazing.
Well, folks, big thank you to Cisco, who played Theobald today. Thank you to Rob for playing Professor Klaus. And thank you to Arthur. Sorry, Josh, who is Arthur. One and the same, baby. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Split personality. No. So, thank you to all my players, and that closes Chapter 2 that I have named A Dark Descent. See you next time.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Sin creeping down my skin. I can feel it spreading when it begins. Oh, fool.